riding is about a lot more than just our ability to stay on a horse and to sit well and look good. So if you own your own horse or you've been riding for a while, you've probably realized that there's a little bit more to it. There's a lot of different pieces that go into having a good ride. We've got to have a healthy horse, we've got to have a happy horse, we have to be able to communicate well with our horse, and we need to be able to ride. We've got to be able to feel confident and secure and stable when we're in the saddle, and we've got to have good equipment. If you're just starting out with horses and maybe you're taking lessons somewhere, this might seem like a lot, like there's a lot of different pieces, but I'm going to show you a way today to think about this that will make it a little bit easier and a little bit more step by step. If this is your first time joining us, I'm Callie from CRK Training, and this is my weekly video show. And what we're talking about today is kind of this big picture of riding through the wheel of horsemanship. So different instructors and different trainers sometimes talk about this wheel a little bit differently, but the concept is still the same. There's different pieces, different kind of spokes of the wheel that go into a good ride. So again, to have that great ride, we've got to have a horse that is healthy, and we've got to have a horse that feels good, that can move well, that can move correctly, doesn't have discomfort somewhere, either from his own body, from the equipment that we're using, or from the way that we're riding him, that makes him uncomfortable and could then cause some bad or some undesirable behaviors. So when we think about the spokes in this wheel, I'll start here with some of the health pieces. So first of all, we've got to have good nutrition for a horse. We want to be able to feed him in a way where he can be at a healthy body weight, and where he can have the energy that he needs for whatever performance or athletic task that we're asking of him. Dentistry is also a really important piece. Not only does this kind of connect to nutrition and the horse's ability to digest, but for the horse, if they don't have good dental care, they can start to develop sharp hooks, and they can develop imbalances in their mouth that will actually lead to behavior problems. They cause the horse discomfort, either from the way that the bridle fits, or even just for the horse being able to move. So dentistry becomes a really important part of this big picture. And then, of course, hoof care. There's a slogan among farriers that no hoof, no horse, and it's really true. So the horse is a big animal, and he carries all his weight, on average around 1,000 pounds, on these 4 little hooves. And if they're not healthy, if they're not functioning well, the horse isn't going to be sound. And if we don't have a sound horse that can move comfortably, we really can't ride at all. And then, of course, we have the rider. So this is our piece of learning how to stay balanced, learning how to find good alignment and movement so that we're not accidentally getting in the way of our horse's movement. And it's also about learning how to communicate well with our horse when we're in the saddle, and also what I would put in this piece here is when we're on the ground. So really just good communication, good training, and being able to create a good relationship with the horse. And then we've got the equipment that we're using. So one of the most important pieces of this when we're riding is the fit of the saddle, both for the horse as well as for the rider. Because without a good fitting saddle, the horse can't move comfortably, and the rider isn't going to be able to stay in good balance with that horse's movement. And then we've got management. So management entails, how is the horse kept? Does he have turnout? Is he able to move and get exercise throughout the day and have mental stimulation and a social life with other horses? Or is he confined to a stall where, when we take him out to ride, we might have more chances of him acting out or having too much exuberant energy, or even him just developing some unhappy vices like cribbing or stall walking or weaving. So as we progress in kind of the journey of horsemanship, we have to get stronger in each of these areas. And if you're a horse owner, you're probably already kind of recognizing that there's a lot of different pieces that go into maintaining a happy, healthy horse, and then being able to also build your riding skills at the same time. If you're just starting out and you're taking lessons at a local barn, you might have more focus right now in this area, but the truth is that as you progress as a rider, you're going to start noticing that even if the facility that you are riding at isn't getting these other pieces right, your experience as a rider and taking lessons at that facility isn't going to be as good. So whether you're just starting out taking lessons and you just need kind of a base knowledge of each of these, or as you start to progress and maybe you go on to leasing a horse and then eventually owning a horse, your knowledge has to just keep increasing. So you can think about kind of rating each of these areas or filling up each of these spokes as your knowledge or your skill in that area starts to increase. And especially when we are responsible for the care of the horse, whether it's through leasing or through owning, it's ultimately our responsibility to understand these different pieces enough to make sure that we're doing the best that we can do for our horse. So this doesn't mean that we all have to go out and learn how to be a farrier. There's people that spend their career and their professional life specializing in sometimes each of these areas of horsemanship. But it does mean that we've got to know enough to take responsibility for finding that person and bringing them in and creating our kind of network of professionals that are necessary for really having success with our horse, with our riding, and with our horsemanship. So the wheel of horsemanship, if you're just starting out, you're thinking about just building these at the basic level, and then as you progress through the journey, your knowledge and your skill in each of these should start to progress. If you're having a problem, you can look at this and you can think about, where am I really strong? You know, maybe I'm a great rider, I have really good skills, but you know what? I think my saddle actually doesn't fit that well, and that could be causing the problem. So I need to learn a little bit more about saddle fit so that I can get better here. Or, you know, my horse is doing this weird head shaking thing. I'm riding him really well. His saddle fits well, but maybe he's got a dental issue going on. So I've got to bring in a dentist and I've got to get that taken care of and maybe increase my knowledge a little bit in that area so I can help my horse and improve his behavior and overall improve the ride and the relationship between horse and rider. So I would love for you to leave a comment and tell me, which of these areas do you feel strongest in now? Which are you most confident in, that either in your knowledge or that's taken care of for your horse? And which of these areas would you like to learn more about? So leave a comment down below, and if you're seeing this anywhere besides crktrainingblog.com, go there and I'll see you in the comments.